Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Funko video for you guys, except this one is slightly a little bit different. As you can see here, we have two Pokemon Funkos and these are super cute. I bought them quite a while ago because I was planning to make this video a while ago, but you know how it is. So this here is Ponyta and also Mew, and we are going to repaint these Funkos. So we're gonna do a little bit of a makeover and we are going to turn them into shiny Pokemon. I have been so excited to do this for quite a while now and I am really happy to do it. So let's dive into it. So the art supplies that we're going to be using today, obviously these Funkos here. I'm using these instead of a base because it's just, you know, a paint job. But we're also going to be using some acrylic paints. As you can see here, I have my Dervian Matisse paints as well as a few other color paints as well. We have some paint brushes and I'm also going to be using some masking tape and an X-Acto knife so that I can mask off certain areas. And yeah, that's basically the art supplies, so let's dive into it. So the first one we're doing here is Mew, and I am very excited about this one because Mew is one of my favorite Pokemon. It is a mythical Pokemon and the shiny for it is blue and it just looks super cute. So what I'm doing at the moment is I am masking off his eyes here. I really want to paint his fur blue, but I wanted to see what it looks like if I leave the eyes because Shiny Mew does have blue eyes and blue fur, and I'm not sure how the colors are going to go, but we're going to mask off these eyes, and if I don't like the colors that are left over at the end, I will probably paint over the eyes anyways, but let's just see. So I just have some masking tape here and I'm pushing it into all of the little crevices. And then I've got my craft knife and I'm just cutting around the shape of the eye. I'm trying to be very careful because honestly, it is hard to get a perfect circle. So I'm doing my best. And I think it turned out pretty well, honestly. Now I do want to quickly mention, I have been experimenting a little bit with my art setup and my filming space. And that is obviously why I haven't posted a video in about a little bit over a week. So I have been experimenting with that a little bit, but good things come with that. As you can see, I have a pretty nice glass tabletop here, but sometimes in this video you might see my head pop into view. I tried to edit that out as most as I could. It's really a trial and error sort of process to see what works best with this new setup. So now we are adding paint onto this Mew here, as you can see, and the color I actually used was Australian Sky Blue, I believe. It looked pretty nice. Now I'm not using any sort of gesso or sealant on this little guy, and it probably would be best if you did, but I just decided not to. But if you're going to go that way, definitely make sure you put a sealant on the top at the end, just to make sure that that paint, you know, stays where it's supposed to be. But yeah, we're painting his whole body blue here, and I think it's a pretty nice color. But once I started adding it onto the pink, you can see some little patches here and there where the original color is showing through a little bit. So of course I have to go over and do a few layers, as you can see, and that sort of builds it up and makes it look a lot more solid and better. At this point, I also decided that I am going to paint over his eyes because I can tell straight away that the blue isn't going to be like that much different other than the just the hue a little bit. So I'm going to paint over it with a nice dark blue. The color I'm going to use is Ultramarine. It is a really, really nice dark blue. I love this shade in this paint that I have, because it's really nice and opaque and it has really good coverage too. So I'm glad I got to use this paint, and as you can see, it looks so much better with that dark blue eye versus the light sort of cyany colored eye, which was the original eye color in the non-shiny Mew. This is kind of something I really wanted to avoid because I am the worst at painting circles freehanded with paintbrushes. It took me quite a while to get it like perfectly round, and it's still not even perfect at the end. But honestly, I don't mind because I think he turned out very, very cute, and I really love the way that the shiny Mew looks at the end. So the next Pokemon we are painting and making a shiny today, as you knew from the beginning, is Ponyta. Now Ponyta is also blue, except it's just the flames on top of its head as well as along its back and on its tail. Those flames are actually blue and they look super cool on the shiny Pokemon. I think it's definitely an improvement over the still cute orange and red shiny, non-shiny Ponyta. So to do that, we are going to be masking off again, and I'm using the same masking tape and the same X-Acto knife and basically the same method as I did with the Mew's eyes. And I am just pushing that masking tape into all of the little crevices, as you can see here on its head and like on its main area. I'm trying to make sure that I cut really close to the part where the fur connects to the fire, because I really want this to look really nice and crisp. And I am so hoping and praying that no paint sort of like leaks underneath. If it does, I would be able to fix it anyways, because it's basically just plastic. I can sort of scrape off that paint, but we want to try and avoid that anyways and get a really nice satisfying paint peel. So yeah, I'm basically masking up every single area except the flames, and that's just because it would be so much easier for me to paint and blend, especially something like flames, which you're gonna have lots of layers and lots of blending. I don't want to risk getting paint anywhere else on the face or the body or the legs or something like that. So I'm just going to cover him completely in masking tape, and he looks pretty funny, doesn't he? But yeah, let's begin painting these flames. So I started off with a few blues here, as you can see, and I just started adding in some blues to the top of the head, and I could tell straight away that the color that I was using was a little bit transparent. So after I realized that, I sort of switched it to the ultramarine, which was a nice darker, sort of deeper blue, and we got some really good coverage on there. Now, as you can tell, shiny Ponyta's fur or flames or whatever you're going to call it is definitely lighter than this dark blue, but it's still going to be a very good base to work off of, and we can sort of work from dark to light to like blend in those highlights later. And I think that this is going to look very cool. So I basically worked all over the body here. As you can see, the little flames on his legs and his tail and on his little elbow parts as well. And I used that ultramarine blue to completely cover the orange. And I think it worked really well. And look at that. Honestly, just with the base coat, it looks so cool. And I can't wait to blend in these highlights and see the flames come to life. So as I said earlier, I'm basically working from dark to light here. And I am using some slightly more cyan-y blues, because I feel like it just looks really cool with just a little like warm greenness to the flames, even though it's still blue. I just really like that tone. And I'm trying to make sure that there are quite a few gradients in this as well. I'm adding in some highlights, and then I'm blending it back to the dark blue sort of color, and then I'm adding more highlights over the top and then blending them into the other blue kind of colors. And I'm also trying to make sure that like the tips of the flames as well have a lighter tone on them, and there is more of a shadow in the little crevices around the flames. And I'm also trying to just make sure that you know, the shapes that are already on this artwork, or you know, on the Funko, I want to sort of accentuate and work with. So I'm trying to make sure that my brush strokes go along with the flames instead of like trying to fight against them, if that makes sense. And try and add a little bit of painterly texture in there too, because I think that that would look really cool. And honestly, I had so much fun painting the flames, and I think that they turned out super cool. So after that, now is time to peel off the masking tape. And as you can see, there are still some areas where some paint has leaked underneath, but that wasn't too much of an issue. I basically used a paintbrush with a little bit of rubbing alcohol to sort of like dissolve that paint a little bit. And I also used a craft knife to scrape up some areas of the paint, and honestly, I didn't do too bad with clearing that up, and I think it looks really cool. Now's the time just to give him some dark blue in his inner ears, because Shiny Ponyta has dark blue in his ears. And here is the final results. And here is the results for this video, the 2 shiny Pokemon, and I think that they look super cool. As you can see in the ending, I sort of sprinkled a little bit of glitter over them just for the show off part, but that's not actually connected to them or anything. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was super fun to make, and I really want to try and make more shiny Pokemon Funkos. I think that it's just something really fun to do, and I love shiny Pokemon. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe to get your Scribble fix in the future. Comment below which ones you want to see next, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Please stay safe out there, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye everyone.